Hello and welcome to this week's Live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. On this week's show, I shall be chatting to young soul jazz singer-songwriter Ffion Rebecca. And we'll also be playing lots of homegrown music by local bands. Hello, I hope you're all fighting fit. Hello, I hope you're all well and are having a great week. Right, we're going to kick this week's show off with a brand new single from Kolosloth. I'll just tell you a little. It's a bit difficult to say, really. Kolosloth. I'll tell you a little bit about the band. Kolosloth is a one-man industrial noise artist from Leicester who is on Cold Spring Records. They've been played on BBC Radio 6 Music, and his first ever single, which you're about to hear, is going to be released tomorrow, Friday the 27th of October. It's a little bit unusual, so here's Kolosloth Thalassophiles. So that was some industrial noise there from you by Kolosloth Thalassophiles. Okay, great stuff, pretty unusual, but yeah. Anyway, so next up we're going to have a little bit of Dumb Language. I saw them last night at the Big Difference. They put on a fantastic show with People Assembly, who I'll also play. But first of all, here's Dumb Language and Call You Back.
I'm breathing
That was the wonderful Dumb Language and Call You Back. They put on an absolutely fantastic show last night at the Big Difference in sunny Leicester. They were playing with the People Assembly and a couple of other bands whose names escape me right now. But anyway, so let's play. Oh, and it was nice to hear some of the People Assembly's newer stuff. It's a little bit slower, proggy, and longer as well, and electronic. So when they've recorded some of that, I'm sure I'll be playing it here on Live, Local and Loud. But until then, here's one of their older songs. It's People Assembly and Trojan Staffy.
Send it.
Was the People Assembly and Trojan Staffy. As I say, I saw them last night. The Big Difference, great bunch of lads, and it was a fantastic gig. Yeah, lovely and hot and sweaty down in the basement there. Okay, so now let's have a blast from the past. Here's the Midnight Dogs and Saving Grace.
All the time I was lonely, and you came and you rescued me. All the time I was lonely, sent to the bottom of the deepest sea. Oh, would you shine your light for me? Well, today could come tomorrow. Sometimes you gotta just fade away. But when I look in your eyes, and I see through your disguise, all the time you could have walked away, but I'm just so glad, I'm so glad that you stayed, because you're my saving grace. You know you're my saving grace.
That was the wonderful Midnight Dogs and Saving Grace. I said it was a blast from the past because I was assuming the band had split up, but it looks like they're just being very, very, very quiet at the moment. They do have a gig coming up. Oh no, it's just gone actually. It's last month, 30th September. They played in Blackpool, apparently. So yeah, just being very quiet at the moment. Wonder what they're up to these days. Anyway, so it's time for this week's interview where I'm chatting to local soul jazz singer-songwriter Ffion Rebecca. But first of all, we'll play one of her songs. Here's Silk by Ffion Rebecca.
High heels and hair put all up real nice. You like my dress, but something says in your eyes we're not leaving tonight. Takes me time to put on my makeup just so you can take it all off. I'm not mad, baby, show me your hand. Your touch is like silk, and you keep on getting closer. It's such a big deal between us, my secret lover. So now my lipstick's on your neck. Can you tell what happens next? Your touch is like silk, and you keep on getting closer. All girls that just want to feel like this. Says it all, you won't need to read my lips. With all this touching and tasting, these feelings, they know what they want. So believe me when I say I need you, and it's not a front. Your touch is like silk, and you keep on getting closer. It's such a big deal between us, my secret lover. So now my lipstick's on your neck. Can you tell what happens next? Your touch is like silk, and you keep on getting closer. secret lovers.
That was Silk by the incredibly sultry, soulful sounds of local singer-songwriter herself, Ffion Rebecca, who is this week's extra special guest here on Live, Local and Loud. Hello there, Ffion. How the devil are you today?
I'm very good, thank you very much. Very excited to be here with you guys. So.
Likewise. What did you think of my little intro there? Incredible, sultry, soulful sounds. Bit of a mouthful, but what do you think of that?
Very flattering. Yeah, thank you.
So thank you so much for chatting with me here today on Live, Local and Loud. I can't wait to be finding out about your sultry sounds. Now, first of all, as most good stories, let's start at the beginning, Ffion. That voice, it's amazing. How and when did you realise you had it?
Oh, thank you. I mean, I've always kind of sung my whole life. Music's been a really big part of my life because obviously I'm from Wales, I'm Welsh, and music is a very, very large part of the Welsh culture. I grew up with my grandmother, my mum, my dad, all of us they'd sing to me constantly. So I always had like an ear for music. I always loved it. And then growing up, I would sing songs to myself about my surroundings because I used to like to pretend I was in a musical theatre production like my whole life. And I think that kind of was my first indicator that I loved music a little bit more than your average person. And then my parents kind of realized I had a voice, so they took me to vocal lessons to get trained up and stuff like that.
Wow.
And then I entered competitions, and it just kind of snowballed on from there.
Gosh, I take it that was all in English then, was it?
Oh yeah. It was.
Not Welsh.
Yeah, was I speaking too fast?
No, I say, but in Welsh though. Yeah, you weren't speaking. I mean, did you speak Welsh?
Unfortunately, I don't know that much Welsh. I'm a bit of a fraudulent Welsh person because it's such a dying language. You get taught it in school, and there are specific areas within Wales where people are fluent in Welsh. But where I grew up, which was a place called Newport, it was predominantly English speaking. So I only really learnt it in school, and then I ended up leaving Wales when I was about 13 when I was 13, and that's kind of, I didn't get enough time to learn it properly.
That makes it feel a bit sad. If it feels a bit of a shame, because so the Welsh language might be in danger of dying out then, perhaps.
Oh no, it definitely is. I mean, if Welsh people have anything to do with it, there is a lot of schools that speak fluent Welsh, and you have to speak Welsh in order to go to those schools. So there's a lot of places and people that do still want to speak Welsh. I would love to speak more Welsh than I do. But it is a dying language, unfortunately.
Have you thought about incorporating some Welsh words in some of your music?
I've not really thought of it, but Welsh is such a beautiful language. It would fit very nicely with music anyway. So it could be a very good idea for the future. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've just played lovely, lovely, lovely tune there. Nice and sultry. Oh, I love that. And the nice bit of sax. I love a bit of sax. I presume that was sax in it, was it?
Yes, it was. It was, yeah.
Lovely. And it was Silk. So how did the inspiration for that song come about then, Ffion?
Well, I wrote this when I was very young. I think I was probably it was like 16, 17. So I'd just gone off to college, and I'd just started becoming more of like a feisty woman, if you would. So I wanted to create a song that made me feel a little bit older, because obviously when you are 17, you always strive to be 21. So I wanted to make a song that just kind of reflected my womanhood, something a bit more sexy, maybe something a little bit more naughty. And that's kind of where this song came about.
So does that reflect, is that the sort of thing you sing about then, sort of life experiences?
Definitely. My writing, I say to a lot of people, I repeat myself a lot with this, but it's the best way to describe the way I write. You know, the lyrics in my songs are like reading a page in my diary. Everything I've written songs about are things that I've experienced through life. You know, your life is basically just a big old storybook, and then I'm just writing mine down in song form, if you will. I just get inspiration from mainly my emotions, because obviously us women, we have a lot of those. So I put mine down in song form, and I get quite emotive songs out of those. I tend to write more about like more strong emotions like love, kind of anger, sadness and things like that. But I'm generally quite a happy person. Don't be fooled. My songs might sound sad, but I promise you, I am quite a happy person.
Well, I was thinking that until I played the last song that we're going to play today. That sounded a little bit more upbeat, I think.
Oh,
So,
it definitely is. I'll tell you more about that one as
yeah, we'll
well.
chat about that one later. When you look back on your life, you could split it up into chapters, really, couldn't you? So I suppose you write about each chapter at a time.
Definitely. I don't know if anyone else really does it, but I tend to I'm quite forgetful, so my songs help me remember different points in my life anyway.
Hmm.
And it's just also a very good release of emotion. You know, some people go boxing, some people have other ways of like dealing with strong emotions, and mine is to sit down and write a really big ballad
Yeah,
song. So
I guess it's therapeutic as well.
oh, definitely, 100%, yeah. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you end up singing out lyrics that you didn't realize that you felt, and then you go back on them and you go, "Oh, that explains a lot," you know? So
I see.
it's almost like therapy, but for yourself.
Right. So Ffion, now tell me. I see you're one of BBC's Dean Jackson's favourites in the local area. And you've met Joe Wiley recently as well, and you did a session for them in the BBC. That must have been quite special.
That was a very crazy moment. I had such it was very surreal. Jo is such a wonderful human being, and I got the chance to actually hang out with her after the show as well, and we're getting to chatting, and we've got a lot in common, which is really cool. But it was a really cool experience, and that was due to Dean Jackson. Dean has always been a massive advocate for me and my music ever since I moved to Leicester. He fights my corner quite a lot, and does everything he possibly can to help me with my career. So I am very grateful for Dean. But he's the one who got me set up with the BBC Radio 2 interview, which you can go and listen to now. That is also still up online. But it was a really cool thing. I did a live performance of one of my recent releases called
I
Wandering
know.
Mind.
I know. I saw that. That was an amazing performance there. Incredibly. And with being the BBC, of course, it's all very professionally filmed and stuff as well, isn't it?
Oh, it was. I mean, I was lucky. I had because it was such an amazing opportunity. I wanted to make sure I documented it, even if they didn't manage to. So the videos that are on my socials were actually filmed by a gentleman here in Leicester. His name is Sam Thacker. You can find him on socials under Thacker Time, and he is an incredible photographer, videographer for the music scene. He's a very good friend of mine, but he comes along with me and does a lot of that for me. He did the same when I did Festival in 22. He came along, took loads of photos for me, and did the filming for that too. So he's a highly talented young man, 21. So
21.
yeah, he's 21 years old, I think, 21, 22.
Blimey.
He's
So he did the
very
filming when you were in the studios and stuff as well, because I saw
yeah,
that.
the stuff you see on my socials of the filming of it all, that was all him. So
Very nice. So back to BBC though. So how did the BBC find you, discover you, do you think? Did you send your songs in for the show?
yeah, so they've got a thing called the BBC Uploader, which I recommend to every artist, especially more in the local areas. If you're going to put stuff on the BBC Uploader and you're expecting to get Radio 2 or Radio 1, if I'm being fully honest, it might not happen. If you want the introducing, it's a really, really good if you're like up and coming and you've not had radio play yet, other than obviously local radios and stuff. Go to the uploader and put your songs MP3 version up onto the uploader. It'll basically send them off to people like Dean, and they'll take a listen to it, and then you'll get a notification saying if they're going to play it. And then a lot of the time, when you've got really good introducing presenters like Dean, they'll bring you onto the show and give you a chance to just chat about yourself. BBC is a very, very good thing, especially if you're an up and coming artist. When they pull you under their wing, they're really great.
I can imagine. Okay, brilliant. Let's play another one of your songs now. Let's play Iswi, or IHSWI, otherwise known as I Hope She's Worth It. Which title do you prefer, Iswi or I Hope She's Worth It?
It's called I Hope She's Worth It. It's just I put it as the letters, just to make the title shorter. But you make me laugh because my guitarist calls it Ishwi.
Right.
And it's a bit of an inside joke. He's currently on tour in Europe right now, but you just made me giggle because that's what he says with it. So it's called I Hope She's Worth It.
And what was the inspiration about this then, Ffion?
It's actually about my ex-boyfriend before I met my partner now, who I'm very happy with and love of my life. But my ex-partner, it's very it says it in the name. He wasn't very loyal, and that was why we ended up breaking apart. And I wrote a song about it. So
Brilliant.
I hope she's worth it.
So here's I Hope She's Worth It by Ffion Rebecca.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked and surprised that you could betray what we had, that you lied. And all that I know is how you played me for a fool. We're together, what feels like forever, boy, and nothing gets better. Never another boy, now we're not together. Still all that I ever want is you, babe. I'm up reminiscing about us in the kitchen, boy, dancing and singing like we had forever, boy. Now I hate to say it, your sorry came too late, but I hope she's worth it. I hope she's worth it to you. 'Cause all the things that I do, all the things that you wraps her whole world around you. I hope she's worth it to you. I've never cried so much in my life, baby. I felt the world crashing down all the time. It's so hard to see why you do this to me. The heart that you held now inside me, it bleeds. I will get stronger without you, and my tears no longer about you. No, no, I will get stronger without you, and my tears no longer about you. But I hope she's worth it to you. She's worth it to you. Does all the things that I do, yes I do, wraps her whole world around you. I hope she's worth it, worth it, worth it. No, I hope she's worth it to you. Does all the things that I do, wraps her whole world around you. I hope she's worth it, worth it, worth it to you. Hello? I don't know why you're calling me. Was I not good enough for you?
That was I Hope She's Worth It by the incredible, sultry, soulful sounds of local singer-songwriter Ffion Rebecca, who is this week's extra special guest here on Live, Local and Loud. So, Ffion, tell me, I'm often curious, having not performed myself, I often wonder what it's like. So what is it like for you performing? Do you enjoy it? What does it feel like getting up there?
It's definitely one of my favorite experiences. I love performing live. There's nothing quite like it. It depends. Like, you can do lots of different types of venues. My personal favorite way of performing would be like acoustically. So it would be just me and my guitarist.
Right.
So you can get quite an intimate experience out of that. And then the crowd as well. very, very big fundamental part of whether a gig goes well or not. Because if you have a very responsive crowd, there's just some sort of unspoken energy flow between everybody. We are all quite connected, and it's a very, very phenomenal experience being up there, especially when you start building a bit of a fan base too, so you have people singing your songs back to you. That's such a wonderful it's such a surreal experience.
I can imagine. So now you've lived over various different parts of the country, and now you find yourself in sunny Leicester, or is it you live in or near Leicester?
Yes, so I am in Leicester currently. I live towards the centre of Leicester.
Okay, brilliant. Would you say Leicester's got much of a jazz scene as far as you're concerned?
It definitely has. I'm aware of pockets of the jazz scene within Leicester. I have seen in different places more of a jazz scene, if you will. But I know I'm quite friendly with a gentleman called Gareth John.
Yeah, I know Gareth. Yeah.
Leg in Leicester, and he introduced me to the whole side of the jazz side of Leicester. So there is actually, you know what, going back to the question, I genuinely think, yeah, there is actually quite a large jazz scene within Leicester. It's a very big community of session musicians, artists, and so on. And we all know each other because we've all worked with each other at some point within the industry. But they're all really great people. They're really fun and funky people too. I think I might be the youngest in the scene, though, I have to say.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's the jazz club in Regent Road. Do you know of that one?
Yes, I have. I actually haven't been there yet. I need to get down there.
So what sorts of place then do you perform in Leicester as a jazz singer?
So I've performed before. I used to host a night at the Oasis Lounge on Narborough Road. So I did a lot of jazz stuff there. I used to do that every Friday night. And then I've done things at the Y Theatre before with Gareth John. He's put on some showcases. I tend to travel quite a lot with my jazz. So I did a lot of jazz in Cambridge when I lived there for a while. They have a big jazz festival that they throw. So to be honest, I do lots of different bits just here and there. The most recent one that I'm going to be doing will be on the 18th of November. I'm going to be doing a jazz swing night, like Prohibition style, at this new cocktail bar that's being renovated on Granby Street.
What do you mean by Prohibition style?
So like 1920s,
lovely,
Flappers and Gangsters, kind of launch party, that vibe. It's a very fun night. And it will be swing, it'll be postmodern jukebox kind of vibes. It's going to be really, really cool. And the cocktail bar is phenomenal. It was originally known as the Vegan Bar, Granby Street, and it's now being changed over to Watson's. And it's going to be completely renovated to look like it's from the 1920s, which will be really
interesting. Yeah, because I must admit, I love it. I'm being vegan myself. I do love it as the Vegan Bar. So I was a little bit disappointed when they started changing their name to Cocktail Bar. But no, it's
Vegan Bar. There's still the Vegan Bar. It's still the main part of it. They're just changing their branding for.
I think it's called a Vegan Bar because it's next to the vegan restaurant, isn't it?
Yeah, they're like sister companies, so it's owned by the same gentleman.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically part of Herb, which is the vegan restaurant, but their own bar version, which is just next door. So
it's a regular night then you'll be doing there?
Once a month. So you can keep an eye on my socials for that one. But the first one, our launch party, is going to be on the 18th of November. And I highly recommend everybody come because it is a wicked, wicked bar. And we're going to have so much fun with just some swing, gypsy jazz. You know, I'm being accompanied by an incredible young pianist. His name is Prab. He's a very good friend of mine. And if you've been at my jazz nights at the Oasis, then you've probably seen this gentleman perform with me before. It's going to be very cool. And I hope you can all make it. So definitely block your diary if you can.
And it's going to be quite intimate as well, isn't it? It's not a big place.
No, it is. It's exactly what I would want it to be with jazz. I think jazz is beautiful when it's intimate. So
absolutely. Oh, that sounds delicious. Can't wait for that. Okay, and it's going to be, you're going to have, obviously the jazz is going to be the theme every month. You're going to have jazz type stuff going on.
Yep. So it will be me. So it'll be my night once a month, and it will be based predominantly on jazz and swing music. Yeah.
Wow, brilliant. Because I know Andrea Kenny, she does a night there at the moment, so presumably she'll still be doing hers. I think it's on Fridays,
Oh, yeah,
isn't it?
she still does hers on a Friday. Mine, I think we're looking to do maybe Saturdays.
What's this TV advert I've been reading about that you do part of?
Yeah, so I had a really cool opportunity a couple months back now, actually. No, it was in September, early September. I got the opportunity to write a jingle for ITV for their new advert on morning and daytime TV. So if you watch ITV and you see an advert with Dermot O'Leary in and lots of other people for like Loose Women, Good Morning, all that sort of stuff, it is. Voice is me. That's me on there.
Gosh, that's amazing. How do you get things? Have you got like an agent or something that gets you jobs like that?
I'm purely independent. I'm not signed to anyone.
Okay.
With this, it's just purely connections and having friends in different parts of the industry, really. So when big opportunities come up, then they'll go, "Oh, Ffion, do you want to do this?" And I'll go, "Yeah, sounds cool. Let's do it."
Excellent.
So if you're a young artist who is looking to grow in the world and you're listening in right now, I highly recommend get yourself in those situations where you could just meet anyone, go to live gigs, go reach out to that person that you've been stalking on Instagram for a while and wanted to work with. Make those connections because you'll be very grateful for it later on in your career.
So you've got your gig, your launch of your very own Prohibition Swing Night at Watson's Cocktail Bar on the 18th of November. And have you got any more gigs lined up?
Oh, I've got a few different ones popping up here and there. I think, is it the 12th of November, maybe?
Yeah, 12th of November at Prana.
Yes, I will be at the vegan cafe. And I do a lot of places in vegan things now. I just realised that. But yes, I'll be at the vegan cafe called Piranha or Prana. It's not piranha like the fish, but Prana.
Prana.
I always thought it was Piranha for a while, but it's not. So I've got a gig there and it's under a wonderful charity called Iconic, and they basically work at raising money and for domestic abuse people, and they also work very closely with bringing music to people and children that don't necessarily have the funds to get the equipment for or the funds to do lessons or even a music room. So they're really, really wonderful charity. I'm going to be there on the 12th with them and Gareth John, actually. Both of us will be doing a set. So if you can make it down, definitely please do so. Or if you fancy donating, check out Iconic's page. And yeah, it'll be really, really cool. They've got this thing that if you donate £10 or more, then you get a free ticket to come to the event on the night as well. Which is, so yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. Great. All right, then that sounds brilliant. That does. Okay, so we're going to talk about your new single in a moment, but before we do, can you just tell us how do people keep in touch with you and follow you on your socials, Ffion?
Yes, of course. So you can find me under Ffion, which is Ffion, and then Rebecca, Rebecca, and that will be on any socials, Instagram, YouTube, TikToks, everything. I'm everywhere. And yeah, come follow along for the journey. I like to post a lot of come and do things with me. So I performed with an orchestra in Nottingham yesterday, and I'll be posting today a new video about my whole experience of doing it. So you're basically there with me. So yeah, come join the family.
Yeah, okay, will do. And finally, can you tell us a little bit about the last song, Wandering Mind, your most recent release?
And Wandering Mind has a very special place in my heart. It was written about ADHD because my brother and we both have ADHD, and we've suffered. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say suffered. I love having ADHD. It's always for me been a bit of a superpower. And I've taught my brother the exact same. But going through school was always quite hard for us. We'd always get told that we were naughty, or we weren't listening hard enough, or we weren't doing well enough. So this was my little gift to him, basically saying that you're incredible the way you are, and that I will always have your back with it. And basically it's written in the style that reflects an ADHD mind flicking from one thought to another within seconds. So yeah, I think that kind of sums it up.
And also we can see the video of it, can't we, on your Facebook page?
So you can see the video of me performing on BBC Two with it. Unfortunately, Wandering Mind itself doesn't actually have a music video, but you can go and listen to the other tracks that I've done, and they will all be on my YouTube. There's lots of different music videos from those on my YouTube channel.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for chatting with me today, Ffion. And we shall now play Wandering Mind by Ffion Rebecca.
What is it? The stuff that dreams are made of.
I'm just lying here with thinking on my mind. Up in the atmosphere is where you'll find me. You see, normal days, they drift away, leave nothing left, even less to say. If my left is right, I'm right today, and the stardust in my eyes can't tell me lies. You got a good one, keep him, or he might as well leave you for another soul, until they both grow old. But never mind. In my mind, oh darling, how you shine. But if I take my time, don't go losing me, baby. Thoughts, they fly around like butterflies. They will just pass you by. The stars will never leave me. They watch me overnight. But don't think, here we go again. My heart and mind aren't friends. Asking when the story ends. How will I? Me and my wife. Normal days, they drift away, leave nothing left, even less to say. If my left is right, I'm right today, and the stardust in my eyes won't tell. No, darling, how you shine. But if I take my time, don't go losing me, baby. Thoughts, they fly around like butterflies. They will just pass you by. I'm falling, 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 I'm falling. In my mind, oh darling, how you shine. But if I take my time, don't go losing me, baby. Thoughts, they fly around like butterflies. They will just pass you by. Bye, bye, bye,
Bom.
What a voice. So that was me chatting to this week's guest, which was Ffion Rebecca. I very much look forward to seeing her at her jazz nights, monthly jazz nights at Watson's. It's now called Watson's Vegan Bar. It used to be Vegan Bar, but now it's Watson's. Okay, so great stuff from her. Meanwhile, here's JJ Lovegrove and The Bet.
Every time it rained, you felt sorry for the earth. emotions. You know everywhere that you go, I would try to follow, and I would promise you a whole garden if you could promise me a tomorrow. Don't say that I am wrong just yet. I haven't said goodbye to my friends. Me and my dad, we had a bet. It's love that haunts us, not regrets. So promise me you'll visit. Promise me you'll visit. The news is all so sad. Even the walls in my home are crying. Give me 3 rings so I know how you're settling in. I will build a time machine, but I know you wouldn't want it. So maybe I'll live in the static to tune into the voices. Don't say that I am wrong just yet. I haven't said goodbye to my friends. Me and my dad, we had a bet. It's love that haunts us, not regret. So promise me you'll visit. I promise I will listen. You haven't shown me the moon yet. So promise me you'll visit. Promise me you'll visit.
Wow, always find that song almost moves me to tears, especially when you see it live. It literally does move me to tears. So yeah, that was incredible stuff. That was JJ Lovegrove and The Bet. That brings us to the end of another live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Don't forget, if you want to see what gigs are going down in Leicestershire, check out our handy gig guide in www.musicinleicester.co.uk. Also, don't forget, if you want to listen to any previous live local and louds and the interviews therein, check out musicinleicester.co.uk. There'll be a handy playlist on the right hand side. Also, if you want to see any reviews of latest music or gigs or anything that have happened in town, check out musicinleicester.co.uk. That's where it's all at. So do have a great week, and I'll look forward to seeing you here, Hermitage FM, next Thursday at 5 o'clock.